Hello, welcome back. We are continuing lecture 11. This is part 2. This is where we stopped. We're going to continue from here. Just like life cycle of a person, every product or service has its life cycle, starting with introduction, which is when the product is launched. Growth, hopefully, with market acceptance and maturity when the product, uh, product sales. In this is vertical line is sales and the horizontal line is time. So eventually, the market is saturated and the product sales level off. And if the company doesn't do anything or doesn't do much in terms of marketing, then product may go into decline, especially with more competitors entering the market and taking over the market share. So we're going to talk about these different stages of product life cycle. These are the four stages of product life cycle. I should note that this classic bell shape is of product life cycle. Uh, this this is just, for example, how to say this is very classical. Depending on the product type and services and industries, the shape of the product life cycle may differ greatly. So, introduction is the initial stage of product life cycle where the product is launched into the market. So, and here are some of the things which happen at this stage. High risk of failure. Because of high risk and cost, few product introductions represent um, revolutionary inventions. During introduction, buyers must be made aware of features, uses, and advantages. And sellers like resources, technology, because they have invested heavily into production, design and production of this, technological knowledge and marketing know-how because the product is new. During growth stage, if the product is lucky enough to pass to the growth stage, promotion costs drop as percentage of sales. Marketers must stress brand benefits to encourage brand loyalty, intensify segmentation, strengthen market share, analyze production position, and ensure efficient distribution systems. During maturity stage, as we said, there as more products enter the market, from competitors, even the same company may introduce similar products which partly cannibalize the sales of the earlier products. So they represent internal competition. So emphasis on improvements and differences in competitors' products. So that's why you see on many consumer products packages new and improved, right? So those are the products which reached maturity, and the companies are trying to keep them fresh and keep customers interested. Weaker competitors exit the market at this stage. Advertising and dealer-oriented promotions predominate, and distribution sometimes expand to the global market. This is happening, with, for example, soft drinks and cigarettes. They have hit maturity stage in their own countries, and they're trying to look for new markets abroad. At maturity, strategic objectives are to generate cash flow because the company has invested so much into this product so far, maintain market share, increase share of customers. So trying to get customers buy more frequently and decline. Just like in human life, there's a decline in products life cycle as well. This is like older years of the product's life cycle. Marketers will likely eliminate or reposition items. They cut down promotion spending, eliminate marginal distributors, and leave just major distributors, and plan to phase out the product. So to replace it with something more in demand. And closely linked to this concept, product adoption process. Customers undergo um, 5 stages while adopting new products. So first of all, customers must form awareness. The buyer becomes aware of the product, right? And then the customers, they may have interest in the product. They evaluate the product features. They may try it, which is called trial, and if it is successful, then they adopt the product. Okay, so here you can see it visually, the whole process. So unfortunately, many customers lose a lot of many companies lose a lot of customers in this process, right? A lot of people are aware, but at the end, those people who try and adopt, they're much smaller in number. So when it comes to adopter categories, we can also identify several types of people. These are like, we can say this is a segmentation of customers in terms of their openness to new products and innovation. So innovators, they're first adopters of new products. So you probably have such friends and relatives who try to get the first iPhone, they try to get the latest gadgets and download that new application and try it first. So they're eager to try new things. Followed by a larger group, but this is a very small number of people in terms of percentage of population as well. In many countries, this is like a single-digit number, so less than 10%. And then early adopters, this is a larger group of people who adopt new products early, choose new products carefully, and viewed as the people to check with by later adopters. This is also a smaller number, but greater than innovators. And many marketing books, they talk about importance of passing, when you are introducing your product, importance of getting your product to early adopters, because early adopters may influence the early majority, and your product may become successful in the marketplace. So early majority, this is now in double digits, 20% or more, who adopt a new product just prior to the average person, right? That's why it's called early majority. Um, I may categorize myself into this category, but late majority are skeptics, usually older people who adopt new products when they feel it is necessary. And laggards are the last adopters who distrust new products. They don't like new technologies, they don't like new brands, so they try to stay away from new technologies for as long as possible. So you may also think of yourself and your family members and try to categorize them according to these segments. Now let's talk about branding. A brand is anything that identifies one seller's products as distinct from those of other sellers, right? And brand name is a part of the brand that can be spoken, including letters, words, and numbers. Brand mark, it's a visual part of it, symbol or design, and trademark is a legal designation of exclusive use of a brand. Usually have so special sign of the trademark, and the trade name is the full legal name of an organization, so it doesn't have to be the same as the brand name. Brands have become more valuable in 21st century because of higher competition in the marketplace. Brands can be a form of self-expression. They help buyers evaluate quality, They reduce buyers' perceived risks. So, for example, if you buy Nike sport clothes and accessories, so you can be sure that you know each time you made a good purchase, even though it's a little bit more expensive, but you trust the brand. So there may be a psychological reward from owning a brand that symbolizes a status. Uh, to sellers, it also has many benefits, a lot of value. So brands identify products, making repeat purchases easier. They It helps when introducing new products because buyers are familiar with the name. For example, Samsung, if they introduce some new gadget, people already know about it, right? Facilitates promotional efforts because promotion of one branded product indirectly promotes all similarly branded products. So that's what Samsung does, and fosters brand loyalty and a certain level of market share and price stability. When marketers increase their brand's value, they also raise the total value of the organization. Brand loyalty is a rare thing, but it's achievable for many companies. It remains as a utopia, but this is one extreme, right? Trying to, it's the ultimate goal of every marketer to achieve brand loyalty among his customers. So 3 degrees of brand loyalty can be identified: brand recognition, brand preference, and brand insistence. If personally, I think I don't have brand insistence on anything, but on many items, many product types, I have some brand preference. Brand equity is the marketing and financial value associated with brand strengths in the market, right? There are 4 major elements that underlie brand equity. First of all, it's based on brand name awareness, level of brand loyalty, perceived brand quality, and brand associations. So this diagram shows the 10 most valuable brands in the world in 2020, and these rankings change quite frequently, even throughout the year, because different external shocks and internal reasons in the companies. But as you see, Amazon has one of is the most valuable brand in 2020, which is valued at $220 billion. So if they just keep everything else and sell Amazon brand to Google or Apple, they would be willing. These companies would be willing to pay around $220 billion to Amazon. Brands can be also divided into several types. There are manufacturer brands like Sony or GM, and private distributor brands are initiated and owned by a reseller. So stores may come up with their own brands. And generic brands are those which indicate only the product category. For example, in this screenshot of a Super Bowl advertising of Milk Producers Board of California has been advertising for many years the milk consumption in general as a that's why they don't even put a brand here. They just put a generic brand, milk. When it comes to selecting a brand name, there are several factors which should be taken into account. First of all, the name should be easy for customers to say, spell, and recall. The name should indicate the product's major benefits and suggest the product's uses and special characteristics. For example, Red Bull. It already it is easy to pronounce and remember. and kind of suggests major benefits and products uses and special characteristics. Like bulls are very strong animals, so they give strength of a bull, right? It's energy drink. The brand should be distinctive. They use specific color contrast and designs to make it more specific, and even the can shape is not the same as the soft drinks can, right? So if the brand name will be used for a product line, it must be compatible with other products in the line, which we'll see some examples later on. So brand name should be designed to be used and recognized in all types of media. To avoid negative connotations, marketers sometimes use fabricated words. For example, the word in Uzbekistan, the brand name Dena doesn't mean anything, right? Dena is just made up word, doesn't have any meaning in any language. So that's why, when you export to other countries, it doesn't mean something else in some other language. Brand names can be created internally, either by department, by committee, or suggested by individuals. Branding a service has some additional dimensions. The service brand and company name are usually the same, like Starbucks, perceived by customers as having one brand name even if they offer several products. Frequently, a service marketer uses a symbol along with the name to make the brand distinctive. Okay, as I told you, this is a very long topic, so I will pause it here. When we come back, we're going to talk about protecting a brand.